The Immaterial Games Podcast with these guys.
So, yeah, that weather, eh?
What about it? We have very different weather, I think.
Well, like last week we were talking about, the really, really hot 28-degree sort of weather that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, epic, make me jealous weather.
Yeah, don't worry, you wouldn't have been jealous of this week's. Do you like water?
No. I mean, I like drinking it, but I'm not a fan of it coming down on my face.
That's why he doesn't have baths or showers.
I only shower once a week. Like a healthy, normal person should.
Okay then. It's a discussion. We go there. Yeah, this is the Immaterial Showers podcast. No, wait, what?
I say Duncan smells.
I say, Steph, you need to be calm.
I am calm.
No judgments.
Become what?
Become Wayne. Fuck!
Come Wayne Enterprise?
Oh, jeez.
Batman!
I'm
What?
Bruce Wayne.
Going on.
Bruce Wayne. Right, anyway, yeah, no, we'll kick into this. That was probably more awkward of the warm-ups that we've got. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast. Hello,
Can you
everyone.
prove that with documentation?
I
Yeah.
can certainly prove it with a YouTube video that will come up when, you're listening to this, because it's the YouTube video that you are listening to. Hopefully, maybe. How's it going, everyone?
Biscuits.
It's,
The usual.
it's going.
I have one hell of a headache and I don't know why.
That
Probably
wasn't
'cause
me, Steph. That wasn't me.
Nights out drinking. Yeah, so we've got myself, Ryan. We've got Dariusz.
Hello.
We've got Duncan.
From across the pond, I greet you.
And we've got the other person who begins with D. Wait, no, sorry, S. Stefan.
I refuse
Wow.
to speak anymore.
Oh, he says he refuses to speak. Yeah, so apparently Steph sounds like he's either got a migraine or a hangover. Either one of
We
them
have,
is highly entertaining.
Well, half an
We
hour
have
ago I was
DDRS.
perfectly fine.
Mm. So it's a
That's-
Dance Dance Revolution
that-
studio.
That's a sickness for the podcast.
Or Dance Dance Revolution, plural. More than
awesome.
one DDR.
DDRs. Yeah.
I can't wait till I can kidnap Duncan.
Is that really the only reason you're going to Canada?
No,
We have other things to do here.
I want
just so you know.
to meet Terry and some other people, but yeah, one of the
What's about
reasons.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are the social activities in Canada? I didn't realise kidnapping was something that was,
Something which you'll be interested in.
yeah, so arcades, shopping, landmarks, kidnapping? No.
Why not?
We're very liberal, but we're not that liberal. Just because you can smoke weed outside in the open doesn't mean you can kidnap other people.
I'm not kidnapping other people, just you.
By other people, I mean people who aren't your own physical person. So yes, you would be referring to me in that case.
Then it's perfectly fine to kidnap you.
No, they're right. There's some legal ramifications here, Steph.
It'll be fine. I'll iron that out.
You-
I just might
I-
need Terry's help.
There's no diplomatic immunity for people who work in hotels.
I hope not.
I'm pretty sure you have to be a politician at the very least for that.
I'll sort some stuff out.
Oh dear. So yeah. So we go from legal ramifications to gameplay exploitations. So yeah, we will move
That was
on.
almost a rhyme.
I know. I tried.
There's gonna be a loophole, and I swear to God, I will find it.
Loopholes to wormholes. Let's go to what's been played
What's being played?
now.
Oh shit!
Who shall I choose? Steph.
I said oh shit for a reason. I'm not.
Yeah.
I have not really played anything. I played. What have I played? Can you come back to me?
Nope.
Pass.
It's alright, don't worry, I'll cut out the awkward bits while we wait for you to think.
Super fight.
Super fight.
Yeah.
Shit, that was gonna be mine. Alright, I have to change mine.
Stolen.
so,
We cannot use it now.
Yeah. For those
Tell
who
us all about Super Fight, Stefan.
for Super Fight. For those who have not watched the video,
Oh yeah, I forgot it. Well, episode 1's out already, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Mind tricks.
You got quick turnaround on those group plays.
Because you don't really have to do much editing.
Have you seen what I did at the beginning?
Nope.
Yeah, thought not.
Didn't do much.
Did you say just Fortnite?
You said
No.
Fortnite. I'm concerned for you, Duncan.
Someone's got Fortnite in the brain.
Yeah, I know, and I'm concerned for him. Can we replace him with
More
someone?
like Fortnite. We say that every time.
So yeah, so for those who haven't watched the play session video, which has the handy dandy what is Fortnite, not Fortnite, what is Super Fight?
What
Oh,
is Fortnite?
You did that whole thing to the beginning, hadn't you, when you're talking over it, going, this is how the rules, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you meant.
yeah. So
I've
for
not
those who
seen it.
haven't watched that, what is Super Fight, Steph?
Cards Against Humanity.
It's like Cards Against Humanity,
It is.
except instead of instead of just picking like the most horrid answer that makes the judge funny, basically it's a little bit more structured than Cards Against Humanity, where you're proposing a fight or some kind of competition between two characters who are chosen by cards. They are given attributes. They could be positive or negative by supporting cards, and then the non-players vote on who they think would win in that fight and or competition.
Yes.
You're welcome, Stefan.
Thank you.
Tell us more about Super Fight, since this is your segment.
My mind's fucking going.
Tell us about your experience with it.
I think it's quite fun. Especially when we were trying to... I love the fact I didn't have to debate through the whole thing there.
Mm.
I had
Yeah,
Duncan.
kind of-
I had Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, sort of the effective rules of Super Fight is that the people who are supposed to be trying to determine who wins the fight are the people whose cards it is.
Because I think there's one where I don't think it was me who was in it. Well, what wasn't one of mine, but you were talking, and at the end of it, after everyone voted, I went, "How's he meant to have done that with no hands?" And you went, "That changes everything."
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, what we ended up doing, particularly in the play session video, was just let everyone go crazy. I mean, it
Come up with your own
turns into a
theories.
bit of a weird psychobabble that went on, but allow everyone to determine, sort of influence each other's votes.
Yeah, everyone's
more
defending.
than
I picked this because of this.
more than just the debaters trying to sway the judges in the case. Get everyone to do it. It is. I mean, the game is literally who would win in a fight between X and Y. Let everyone have a go.
Yeah. It's our largest group play session to date, is it not?
Yeah, 5 people.
First to 5?
Yeah. So we had 5. We nearly had 6.
Yeah,
Nearly.
Darius had to sleep.
Yeah. So we let Darius sleep.
I was tired.
I
Let him have sleep.
heard that was the case. But yeah. So in terms of combinations of cards, Steph, which is your favourite at the moment?
I'm still not sure. I've not really had that many, but the red decks are definitely ones that tend to stand out a lot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely stand out a lot more. Just to put that into perspective, there are various decks of the game which contain the fighters and the attributes. Now, everyone, when they buy the game, they get the core deck, but there's DLC where you can buy other decks, like the green deck, which is full of all like very
Disney.
family-friendly, sort of fairy tale stuff.
It's represented by a G for general audiences.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
I feel like that's probably intentional.
Yeah, to be fair. And yeah, bears, princesses, leprechaun, stuff like that. Very friendly stuff. Its polar opposite are the red decks, and they're not family friendly.
They're the opposite of that.
Yeah, they're R for R-rated.
They actually are, aren't they?
Yeah. Let's just say
We
there's
can
a lot
definitely
of,
tell this game's American.
Yeah, a lot of toilet humour, sexual references,
Hitler's.
sort of adult stuff.
Many
put in there.
Hitlers.
But and then there's themed decks like anime, horror, Walking Dead, election, and there's a couple of others as well. And sort of the funny bit is that on their own, if you wanted to just make an adult-themed version of Super Fight, you'd probably agree with me in saying you can do. But it's a lot weirder when you just mix them all in.
It is more fun. If you just went with a red deck, you may as well just be playing Cards Against Humanity at that point.
Yeah.
But you have random red deck cards mixed in with, like, Leprechaun. It's like, that's when the humor comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of when, you got those, like, sort of the attributes. Yeah, just having a sort of a red card with green attributes is just odd. It's like, we'll take one in there. Be warned, people. This is R-rated business. Yeah, when one of them's like your mum's vagina.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one
Matt
of the
had
red
that,
cards.
didn't
Yeah. But
Sounds
then,
like a line from an Eminem song. It's like, Mom's vagina.
Yeah, but then when you have an attribute that is sprinkles fairy dust, it's just odd. It's just an odd thing. And,
Just like
I don't know
literally
how that...
random
The worst
thing.
vajazzle of all time.
Yeah, I mean...
Do you
it's
even know
like,
what a pajazzle is?
I've heard.
It's good. It's nice that you've heard.
I've heard rumors. I've never actually seen, like...
He's never Googled it.
I've never seen, like, a woman before, so what do I know?
Mm. Yeah. That led to a funny situation, didn't it? The sudden
Forever
death.
alone.
Was it My Ex versus Child Beauty Pageant Queen?
Oh, yeah. My
Yeah,
ex is a child beauty pageant queen. It's just like, my ex doesn't exist!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Probably did lead to one of the funnier quotes, which we're not going to say because we want you to watch the video.
Spoilers!
Yeah, spoilers. Even though I may have did a spoil of one of the rounds as part of the how-to video. But anyway, so overall, Steph, more Super Fight?
Yeah, I won't mind playing some more.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
Mar Super Fight.
that'd be cool. So yeah, that's good. So we all like Super Fight, worked together to help Steph through the dark days.
Thank you.
So,
And I
You're
still have a splitting headache.
yeah, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. So for laughing, Dariusz, you're next.
I'm next. Okay,
Yeah.
I can be next.
So yeah, so you will be next with your game of choice, sir.
My game of choice, which
Yes.
I played,
It's Super Fight.
which I played this week. Actually, no, I missed that one. I've
Okay.
played Transistor.
Hey, getting into those
Yeah, because it was
Supergiant games.
yes, it was free on the Epic Store.
Yep.
And before I played the new one, Hades,
I'm
I'd-
a fan of Hades.
I decided to play the old one first because I never finished Transistor.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
played Bastion a few times, completed it a few times. But with the Transistor, I kind of played it twice and only once get like 70-80% of the game.
Mm. Yeah. So for those who haven't played Transistor,
It's
what is it?
very narrative-based game.
Mhm.
Well, it's like hack and slash game basically, but they add an extra narration to everything what you are doing.
Yeah. Something
like-
that.
As similar to the Bastion.
Yeah.
So
I mean, across all 4 of their games, really, isn't it?
4 games?
Yeah, there were 4 games.
Oh, which one? Which I'm missing?
So you got Bastion, Transistor,
yeah.
then Pyre.
Okay, I've not played that one.
Pyre is a weird sort of turn-based, effectively a turn-based sports game that's also an RPG.
Right.
So I'll give you a very, very quick rundown on it. Basically, you've been sort of exiled to some underground thing, and you have to take part into some ritual/tournament
Yeah.
of lighting pyres, and you do that by defeating your opponents, who are also going through these same pilgrimages, and it sort of follows the story from there. But yeah, based on that, like I say, they've got a big narrative focus at Supergiant. So please, I interrupted. Continue with Transistor.
Right. So back to the Transistor. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I think 30-40% in the game right now. And damn, I forgot how complex the combat is in that game.
Yeah, it's certainly
Well,
certainly
it's,
different
no,
to
okay,
Bastion.
the actual combat is like exactly 2 buttons, kind of. But the way where you can mix and match the abilities, that's like whoa.
Yeah. So because it's a weird hybrid of turn-based tactical and real-time hack and slash gameplay.
And you can do different things in whatever. Well, in this too. How do you say it? Tactical modes, let's say.
Yeah.
So it feels completely different when you play in the real time, and it's completely different when you have like this turn-based strategy view of the game.
And
And
all sort of named after like bits of code as well, really, aren't they?
yeah.
It's
Also, I
remember-
think I spent like an hour on a training ground just to swapping around the abilities, the attack,
Yeah.
just to kind of see what they do and which one works the best.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel that the sort of the health system works on that? Because I remember that was probably just as unique.
Health system.
Yeah. So okay, I'll let you probably have it being experienced on this, and like the fact that so you have a health bar. Like any traditional game. But you don't die initially when the health bar runs out.
Yes, you're just losing one of your skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's at the point where if you lose all of your skills,
then you die. Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But the problem is because they are random, and let's say one of your skills is just literally evade, and that's the last one which you are stuck with. So there is no way you can beat the enemies when you have just only evade skill on you.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it would be more Well, I think it would be a little bit better if you kind of could like choose what you want to discard.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a part of the game that you're losing something randomly, but it could like, for example, give you the choice of 2 if you have the choice.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But,
because
I feel that's
otherwise,
the challenge anyway.
Especially on the early beginning of the game, when you lose the one which is mainly your attack, the damage, and you lose that straight away in the fight, then basically you're good to reset the whole game because you will not be able to beat that level, that part of the of the mission.
It does seem pretty punitive when you only have like 1 or 2 skills to depend on in a game.
Yeah, I can see.
And your performance results in you losing that ability. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess fuck me then.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
I mean, that being said, sort of at later points in the game, because of the way that the skills work, there's like what 9, 10 different skills.
Yeah.
And every single one of them has an attack.
Yes.
Or they have some sort of function. But then every single one of them can also be slotted into other skills. So the way
like
that the tactical gameplay is that you mix and match to sort of gain the benefits of all the skills. And if you do lose one, you can then swap it out with another skill.
Yeah, over the
it's
other
just
one.
it's just sort of early on. It can be a bit troublesome, but I feel it doesn't.
Later on, it's quite okay, but you need to unlock most of them.
Yeah.
But still, some of the fights are quite hard. I finding them anyway quite hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like with the way that goes as well, no one fight is the same.
Yeah. Exactly. So you cannot have one set of skills for every single fight. It will just not work. No, you have to sort of mix based on what you're facing. I mean, that's like every enemy has its tells.
What
so
game
you know
is
how to do it.
Transistor.
Yeah. But so generally this is probably I'd say it's one of my favourite Supergiant games.
Oh, that's well.
I mean,
I've never.
How does that feel to sort of you compared to Bastion?
I loved Bastion,
Mm.
and now playing the story kind of again. I'm not just because okay, I've started the game 3 times already. This is my third playthrough.
Mm.
I still do not just go straight to the just follow the story. No, I'm still like wandering around trying to discover every single cookies, let's say, of the game, because well, the narrative is great.
Yeah, I mean, especially because of this thing of what Supergiant have for their idea of, I'm sure it's given a term like reactive narration.
Yes.
So yeah, there's sort of the idea that the game will narrate based on the actions
you're
you
making,
do, rather than sort of just
actual. Yeah. So that's what I like. It's not like 100% scripted narration like in most of games.
It's very context based.
Yes.
Which is sort of interesting. I still remember that with Bastion of like just accidentally falling off the stage.
Exactly.
And then just the narrator
I
going,
love
and then
it.
The kid died.
I love it. I love that comment when you keep dying.
Yeah.
And the narrator is just saying, "Oh, you died again. Let's try not to do it again."
Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, he fell off the earth." Nah, just kidding. As he spawns as well, it's timed perfectly.
Yeah.
So
same thing with Transistor. When you launch an attack, the narrator says, "Oh, that must hurt."
Yeah. So I like with the reactive narration in that it's a little bit different. So Bastion was sort of, the story was narrated because it was told. You know, it was this is something that happened in the past.
So yeah, I'm keep playing Bastion Transistor. I will probably finish it this week.
Sweet. And then you can get onto the absolute punish fest that is Hades, unless you pick up Pyre.
I will have a look what's both of the games looks like, and I will choose one. And then on top of it, I'm planning to picking up another game, but that I maybe will pick it up next week.
Division.
Yes.
Division 2. Electric Boogaloo.
So well, we'll see, because I prefer to finish the games which I already have before I start buying the new ones. And I still have the vampire to play.
Oh yes, you do.
So yeah, well, as I said, until our first year anniversary, I'm planning to finish it.
Yeah. Well, in that case, so you've got 3 months and 2 days.
That doesn't sound good.
No, we'll see how you go with that. So cool. Cheers, Dariusz. Right, Duncan.
So here I am, the guy who barely played anything this week. I was actually busy working for a change. Usually my excuse is school, because that's usually what I'm doing, but I've been out of school for about 2 weeks now, so I've actually been working a lot. However, I guess I have one game that hasn't been discussed yet that I have played. It's worth mentioning.
Okie dokie. Go for it.
It's sort of related to things that I've already talked about in the past. So a while ago I was talking about how my sister and I were planning on doing Pokemon Bingo in Pokemon Emerald. Yep. So what ended up happening with that is, well, I lost progress on it. I lost an hour of save data on it. And so we ended up, at a time when we were going to record another one, we were like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not up to date. Something happened when I was trying to save last time, which was very unfortunate.
Yeah. Rip
and my
that
sister,
1 hour.
My sister took this opportunity to express to me that she didn't really feel like playing Pokemon Emerald anymore. And then if we were going to do the Pokemon Bingo thing, she would prefer to do a different game. Which I thought, okay.
Sun
actually,
and
I
Moon.
kind of... No, not Sun and Moon. Instead, we decided that we were going to try out Pokemon Crystal. Because the second generation is actually my favorite generation of Pokemon, personally.
Yeah, it's a good generation.
Before they started running out of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that it was the biggest game. I liked that it was the only game where you could get 16 badges. I liked that it was the only game that had like direct continuity with a previous installment.
Mm.
You know, and just the fact that it was just such a major technical and aesthetic upgrade over its predecessor is there's no words to describe how much of an improvement it was over Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And just in every way.
Yeah,
so
it certainly felt like a proper sequel at that point, really.
Yeah, it really is like the only like real sequel. I mean,
it didn't really need to be a single. It could be a standalone pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
with two different stories.
Well, that's the perfect sequel, in my opinion. It's like it's a good strong standalone game that also uses some information from the past.
What Nintendo need to do is
inform
bring one out that lets you do everything.
Yeah, they need a super Pokemon game, just every region.
I mean, let's be fair though. Let's go on the fact it's never going to happen.
No, because
really.
If they did it, they'll have nothing to do, and they'll bring out a new one, and everyone will be like, "Yeah, but that's not as big as this game, so we're not going to play that one."
Yeah, but imagine if Pokemon became a live service. It would ruin everything.
Imagine if Pokemon was a game where, like, just go on this tangent for a bit. Like, imagine if, like, you know, the defeating of the Elite Four in each region was like the equivalent of getting a badge in all the seasons before you beat the Elite Four in an individual game. It would just be such a massive game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that I mean that's the thing. You want to make it big without making it overwhelming, and that unfortunately I feel would be the latter.
Yeah.
But
anyway, back to the subject at hand here. So we took the opportunity of our Pokemon Bingo reset to instead change up the format a little bit. Instead of like a classic bingo, like complete a row or whatever, we decided that we're going to do a lockout bingo.
Yeah.
Which is essentially where the entire map is playable. There are no free spaces, and it doesn't matter whether you get any rows or columns or anything like that. Lines are not relevant. All that matters is that you get the majority of the objectives completed. So first person to 13 out of 25 wins, essentially.
Yeah.
And so that's the format we're going to be using for the Pokemon Bingo videos that will hopefully be coming out. I say hopefully because there's sort of an addendum to that, which is a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a snag, as I say.
Oh, a snag.
So initially my sister said that she would be interested in editing these videos, or at least trying to edit these videos. I'm gonna be honest with you, she didn't.
Okay.
So right now we're at a point where we need a different person to edit these videos. These videos, if we're planning on having these videos to start coming out, after Monster Party finishes, which will, the next Sunday will be the first open slot in that time slot.
Yeah.
So we want it ready by a week from now. It basically comes down to minor length editing, like some chopped up empty space, but most of the actual gameplay will be staying in.
Yeah.
Then relevant visual cues, showing the bingo cards get filled in as they go along. We ended up deciding that the format we wanted to go with was sort of like bingo card in the middle, and then our feeds on either side of it.
I was about to say that might work a bit better.
Yeah, that's something that can be done.
It makes more sense with this format now because of the fact that we're sharing a single card.
Yeah.
Before, when we had our own unique card, it was sort of a different thing altogether. But having a persistent bingo card that constantly reminds the audience of, what is at stake and what people are working on, that just gets filled in, is not only easier to edit, but it's also probably better for the viewing experience in general.
Yeah. I'd say that's sort of an easy bit. It's just getting the, just the other bits, the making sure the feeds are there and lined up, and it'd be interesting to go from there.
But yeah, we are in need of a volunteer editor to pick up for us.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes.
I think we
Most
might be
likely,
able-
But yeah,
I'll have a discussion.
yeah, and I'd like to just talk more about the game itself, except because it's related to content, I can't really talk too much about our progress.
Mm.
I can say that we both made it to Goldenrod by the end of our second session. That's about all I can say. So we're into the third city or whatever. So we're kicking along. We're ticking along.
Cool. Coolios. Sweet. Right. So we have had so far fighting with cards, tactical fighting with a sword, and fighting with little creatures of various...
Pocket monsters.
Pocket monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, Stefan, I went to the same place. It's like, well, you're taking way too long to think about pocket monsters.
Yeah, I really was.
Easy.
And yeah, what I will do then is I will continue along the fighting aspect of our games, or what's been played section, and yeah, I will talk about a spaceship roguelike game called Everspace.
Okay, I don't know what Everspace is.
Spaceship roguelike game called Everspace. Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, picture the scene. You Duncan, you like FTL, right?
I'm a big fan of FTL. That's the first thing I thought of when you said that.
Yeah. So yeah, it is effectively that sort of game. So it's a first/third person spaceship exploration roguelike. So you are a amnesiac pilot. You don't know.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. You don't know what's happened to you. You kind of don't know who you are. You just realize that you've just hijacked a ship with an AI that wants to help you escape from something that you have caused. And the ship is mobile, but it's a bit weak, and you sort of have to tactically think about how you're going to escape the area with the limited fuel that you have. Enter Everspace. So the idea behind it is that your aim is to get to a sector to escape, and the plot, there's a plot to it though, which unfolds based on how far through the sectors you go on each run. Now it's definitely roguelike in the aspect that you will be expecting to die. It will happen. But that fits into the plot of the game a little bit as well, because not only is your pilot an amnesiac, he's also a clone.
Oh dear.
Something that you figure
Starting
out.
out with a cloning bay, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's good,
So the idea being is that you'll eventually get stronger as you progress through the game, because while you earn materials and weapons and they disappear when you inevitably die, you also earn credits, which are always immediately transferred. In story terms, they're transferred to your offshore banking account.
All criminals need that,
So
because presumably you are one.
Yeah.
I'm assuming when you die, that's when you find out you're a clone.
effectively, yeah, the first death adds a story that sort of makes you realise that things are a bit odd.
So at least this explains a bit better than some games do when you die. Oh look, you're back to life again.
Yeah, when you're back to life and you now have all this monies.
Mm.
What's going on? You can now level up. So yeah, so it has that sort of way that you gain permanent perks, and then you get temporary upgrades in the game, because it's got a rudimentary crafting system and sort of resource gathering component to the game. So while you're flying, you can mine minerals, fuel, or scrap and stuff like that to either create new weapons based on blueprints that you'll find by defeating enemies or progressing far enough through the game, or to upgrade the bits that you already have to help you survive longer in that given run. But yeah, there's just it's very simple to get from one map to the other. You'll warp into an area. You will most likely immediately find the warp coordinates to the next part of the sector, and it's as simple as aiming your ship at it with no obstacles in the way, and you'll fly there. But if you do that immediately, you'll get overpowered pretty quickly by stuff eventually being stronger than you. So the idea is that you're supposed to try and explore the zone a little bit, get some materials, kill a few enemies, get credits, sort of improve your strength that way before moving on to the next zone. But like in FTL, the longer you stayed in a sector, the more the Federation would come along, or the rebels would come along and make it hard for you to stay there. That happens in real time in each jump point as well. So
that sounds scary.
Yeah, so if you spend too long in a given zone, just a load of really strong enemies will then spawn in. You'll get like a 30-second warning before you do it, but at that point you really want to get the fuck out of there. So it's pretty interesting. I've died about 12 times. I've made it to nearly Sector 4, which I think might be a halfway point, but yeah, so I've enjoyed it. It's not too frustrating. Your ship's mobile enough. Just don't hyperspace into a rock, or you'll die pretty quickly.
That sounds pretty fun. I might have to check this out.
Yeah. So I think it's on sort of GOG. I think it's also on Steam as well. Something like that.
I was looking at the Steam page. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like Neochrome on PlayStation 4, which I played some time ago.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. It's various roguelikes that have that sort of idea, really.
Yeah, because in Neochrome as well, you are a clone, which after you die kind of respawns, and you can again buy permanent upgrades as well as temporary ones. Yeah, which only stack for that clone, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely the same sort of idea. I mean, I like how some sort of roguelikes do play on that. Some do the sort of the slow burner where you'll eventually sort of get to where you need to be purely based on the fact that you'll eventually earn enough money to power up. Some have it of a bit more of a challenging way. Things like Crypt of the Necromancer or Rogue Legacy, where sort of what you need to get stronger will be raised ever so slightly as you go along. And like with Rogue Legacy, it's like spend all your money on the upgrade, because the moment you start, you lose all your money and you start from scratch.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of has that same idea. But I kind of like that balance with Everspace and like Crypt of the Necrodancer and even Hades sort of does that. You'll eventually get a little bit stronger, but it'll provide that challenge still that roguelikes are known for. So yeah, so that was me. And that's everyone for what's been played.
Games of the week.
Yeah. So just as a thing on that, Everspace you can pick up from Steam or GOG. Transistor is available everywhere where you have a keyboard or joystick, but it's currently free on Epic Store for the next 2 days. If you listen to this when it comes out on Tuesday, it'll be available till Thursday the 2nd. Where it'll be replaced with World of Goo. Superfight is on Steam, and Pokemon Crystal is wherever you can get it.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah. Buy it on Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color.
I mean, I got it on. I got the ROM, but I shouldn't support the unofficial releases. You shouldn't.
Yeah. What's that? The Nintendo eShop. Yeah. Perfect.
Yes. Exactly. Buy first-party products always.
Yeah. So and it's time to now for the next 18 minutes or so, we'll move on to news time.
News time.
Thank you.
News time.
So what shall we start with here?
That's a good question.
You know what? Let's start from the beginning of what Steph posted. Steph has provided basically the news for this week. So let's talk about BioWare. And Anthem, and they've not been having a good time, really, have they?
No.
Having a good time?
No. Struggling launch. Basically, the game came out not looking as good as it was hyped. Then it turned out there was a whole load of back room decisions and issues that made the game really not what it was originally planned for, or even originally named, and everyone was a bit, what the hell has gone on with this project? Brought out into the open by Kotaku and Jason Schreier, and so they've not had a good time. Then last week they had their internet connection severed while trying to work on their update plan for Anthem, and then, as what Steph's shown from this Eurogamer article, they're now having trouble meeting their own quote-unquote roadmap.
Yep.
So, so this month, I believe it was supposed to be, this month there was supposed to be a whole load of sort of quality of life content, adding a legacy system, a new stronghold, and sort of other features. Currently, all they've brought out is the stronghold. All the other features have been delayed indefinitely, and Cataclysm has been pushed, the new raid-like activity.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the first far-person raid-like activity, according to the article.
Yeah. So everything on Act 1 has been delayed indefinitely, which, considering the game is already, void of content, and is a bit of a problem. I mean, granted, the reason that they're doing it is, to be fair, what's the point of content if no one can play it because it's a buggy mess? And that's what they're prioritising.
But they released the game as a buggy mess.
Yes, there is the crux, Steph. You found it. Why did the game come out a buggy mess in the first place?
Do you
EA wanted a fucking game out.
Do you think Anthem is dead right now? Do you think they will really fix it and release all the content, or will, let's say in the 6 months, they will just turn around and say, yeah, we failed, that sucks, we're not fixing it anymore?
So you sort of going on the idea that BioWare and EA screwed the pooch on it, and that they might just abandon it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's tough.
I can't see them abandoning it. I think they'll see it out till the very end, and then once year 1's gone, they'll just go, yeah, there's not gonna be a year 2.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to think that this has happened with game studios before. The one that comes to mind recently is No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
So that came out looking like nothing of what it was hyped to have been. It was this sort of weird. The idea that it was brought up as this big, massive exploration system with uniquely defined planets and a shared world multiplayer that you wouldn't really notice is multiplayer because everyone's going to be all far away and stuff like that. And what it came out to be was basically a very Minecrafty light experience on planets that weren't really as unique as you were expecting, with no multiplayer whatsoever, and not as pretty as it looked in the game. It was still very nice looking, and the seamless transition from planet to space was great, but it was definitely
not what was.
It was definitely not what was. Yeah, absolutely not.
It was a good chunk of what was promised. It was just the thing everyone wanted wasn't there. The multiplayer, the shared world, that wasn't there. Everyone wanted that.
Yeah.
You wanted to play with their friends, make a base, whatever, and do it.
Yeah, and I mean it almost ruined the studio of Hello Games, and let's just say there's probably not a lot of people who will listen to Sean from Hello Games ever again. He's hit the Peter Molyneux infamy of overhyping something and not knowing when to just shut up. Tease people. Don't promise stuff that doesn't exist. I know you want it to.
I tend to find that happens to films.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be all this, and it's like when you watch it, it's like, yeah, nah, it's not that good.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But I mean, to be fair, at that point, No Man's Sky Next fixed pretty much everything to bring it to the game that it should have been when it came out.
But look how long it took them to fix it.
it took them best part of a year.
Yeah.
Best part of a year, 2
And
years,
that,
something like
and
that.
it still lost quite a lot of the community that first bought it.
Yeah, and it lost a lot of goodwill with that as well. But look at it now, and
Oh, now it's
it's
quite successful now.
yeah. So, I mean, at that point, that felt to me that should have just been a time where they should have just went, "We're not ready.
Delayed it
We
a
just
year.
need to
Bring
delay."
it out. You could have
Yeah.
had this giant
Well-
hype all to begin with and had no issue.
Look what CD Projekt Red have done with The Witcher 3 and is doing with Cyberpunk. We will release the game when we finish it.
Yeah, don't provide a date.
They don't. Yes, they don't. They didn't provide any date or whatever, and no one is like fuss about it.
Yeah, they know it'll come out. Generally, when CD Projekt Red says that they're bringing something out, they'll bring it out.
Yeah, when it's ready and 100% working.
Yeah.
Not like because someone tells you, well, that's your release day. You have to release that game on that day.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
you got what you got. Broken game.
True.
I mean, just look at Valve. They never gave us a date for Half-Life 3.
They never will.
And it's just like, and you know what? No one's really disappointed.
Yeah.
Some people are still excited for some reason, but no one's really disappointed. Everyone's just like, well,
As long as we know it's
whatever."
being made, most people don't tend to care. And you give us an
It's
update
not.
every now and then. For most games, that's what people want. They want to know. They just want, like, how close you think you are to finishing it. Give us a rough estimate. If it's going to change, let us know. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of if you take in something like Valve now, they're not really a game developer anymore. They're a shop.
No,
they're a shop.
Not. Half-Life 3 is vaporware. It doesn't exist.
No. I mean, we discussed it, I think, last week, briefly, or something got discussed briefly. Sort of Artifact didn't go very well. That was the first game that they did in like 10 years, and it flopped massively. I think I was discussing it in work with someone. That was it. Yeah, Artifact. It just flopped massively. I mean, you got the granddaddy of trading card games, Richard Garfield, on a project, and you couldn't make it successful.
It's like, I mean, just from a design standpoint, that seems like an ill-conceived project. It's like, I've heard lots of people find the gameplay itself to be rewarding.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah. I mean, what was the concept? The concept was a 3-lane trading card game set in the Dota universe, which
I just want to say that I played a game. Stefan and I actually played this together, I think. Or maybe we did. I can't remember. It was a game called Crow's Maga.
Does not ring a bell.
It was it's a trading card game based on it's a French property. What's it called? I don't even remember what it's called.
Wakfu,
Stefan, help me.
I don't even remember
that's
it. Oh.
Wakfu. Yeah, it's a game based on the Wakfu property. It's a French property. I don't remember if I actually played with you or not, but I definitely told you about it. Anyway, I mean, that's a 5-lane.
Oh yeah,
I've
played
game,
it.
Essentially, is what it is.
I don't know if I played it with you. I know I've played it.
And basically, it's just like, you set your characters down a lane, and they have a set amount of move that they travel each turn automatically. And it's kind of like combining a traditional card game with like auto chess almost. It's like, I think that game works fine. I enjoy that game. I don't play it anymore, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, man.
I'm just wondering if like Artifact's problem was the fact that there was a buy-in to actually purchase the game, and then from what I remember, there was no way of earning cards in there as well. So you were paying for something and then paying on top.
Well, it's just like, listen, man. People like, some people just like the option to, it's like either maybe I'll pay for my cards up front, maybe I'll work for it,
Yeah. I mean, let's think of it this way. This is how stuff works on that. Hearthstone, very successful with its sort of free-to-play, pay what you want to do stuff. It was popular enough that the granddaddy of trading card games at the moment, let's say Magic the Gathering is still big, that they basically, with Arena, looked at Hearthstone and went, that works.
Let's just do that.
Yeah.
You know the weirdest thing is? We're having a discussion about buying like things inside a game. Me and Dariusz were having a discussion yesterday with Dennis.
Yes. We had.
about
Yeah,
like
it's a
there is games like people play Farmville and then pay for the things that will speed their crops up and everything else. And his missus was sat there like, why? Just play it a little bit, come back later. Some people don't want to wait that, and a lot of people want to be at the top of the leaderboard constantly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go with the player choice business, but I guess in that sort of case,
It's always pay to win for shit like that.
yeah. But BioWare.
Except for League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends, Warframe, other games use it more for cosmetics.
Well, it's not just really. So yeah, League of Legends uses it for cosmetics. The way Warframe does it is as well. They don't do it in a loot box fashion.
No, you buy what you want.
Get your currency, pay for what you want with that currency, and you get the item. You don't get a chance of the item. You get the thing that you want to use, and that's how that works. But yeah, we'll move on from BioWare, Anthem, and pay-to-play experiences. And we'll continue with player choice, which this PC Games N article comes up. That apparently, according to this article, Ubisoft were asking players about what they want to see out of a Rainbow Six franchise using the Siege survey.
I did the Siege survey, and it was a bit of a question in it.
Yeah, so it's very hypothetical, wasn't it? So it's basically you've all been focus tested on where you want to see, Siege. I mean, apparently they're asking, new R6 gameplay. How appealing are the following hypothetical new types of gameplay for Rainbow Six? Including a solo campaign mode, basically the old Rainbow Six games, an open world exploration mode, The Division, a new PvP mode. I don't know why they need a new PvP mode.
What type of PvP mode would they do though? That would be something.
I give you one guess.
Battle Royale.
Exactly.
Rainbow Six Battle Royale. Yeah, no, we got to be careful with that. But then the bit that was interesting. Yeah, there wasn't anything that had happened for Rainbow Six like Outbreak before.
Yeah, I wish Outbreak was still around. To be honest, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Outbreak was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, so it was definitely different. I mean, maybe it could have some sort of tweaks, because maybe having Left 4 Dead with realistic damage made it a bit too much.
Well, you can already have Left 4 Dead with basically realistic damage.
Yeah, and
they just have that as a difficulty setting.
Yeah, and it wasn't really fun.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, everyone.
I wouldn't mind a version of. I was gonna say a version of Rainbow Six that was a little bit more stand your ground-esque, but I guess there is actually a game mode for that. It's just all AI based.
Yeah. So,
I would like more PvE on Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I would like a short, maybe a short co-op campaign.
Yeah.
Something a bit like Rainbow Six Vegas.
That'd be all right.
Let's say it's one where you don't get to, while you play, you don't really get to pick who you want. You kind of gone, this team's needed for this, and it's like, out of these 4 people, who would you pick? It's like this team's been picked to do it. It's like
Super Smash Bros. Brawl did that for its campaign.
Yeah,
it's just like, here are the characters for this setting. Pick who you're gonna play with.
Yeah, the Subspace Emissary idea, or the maybe even take it the sort of the way of the NetherRealm fighting games with Mortal Kombat and Injustice. It's sort of, right, you're at this part of the story, and these characters are involved at this part of the story. Therefore, off you go.
I think that's what made Outbreak a bit better.
Yeah, because it was a limited range of characters, wasn't it?
It picked the characters that you would assume would be part of some sort of viral breakout.
Yeah, sort of the FBI and CDC, really, wasn't
it?
So it's like, and that sort of word. So, I mean, it's interesting that it's come up, because this is all timing and project based. Because I can see at the bottom of the article, keep an eye on Ubisoft present at E3, which is 3 months away.
Something like
maybe.
that.
He says he doesn't really know properly, but 2 months away. Tuesday the 11th of June to Friday the 14th of June.
I mean,
or what would realistically be said as Sunday the 9th of June to Friday the 14th of June, because they always do this day 0 and day -1 now, don't they? So
the 11th to the 14th.
So it's a sort of month and a half's time. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right, we will. We've only got a couple of minutes left, so here's a quick one. The odd story, more in the opinion of, do you think this will actually happen? So according to PC Gamer, an analyst predicts that 20 million people will abandon gaming PCs for TV gaming platforms, a bit akin to Stadia, the Google streaming system.
And a bit like the Steam streaming system they're trying to bring out.
Yeah, sort of a big picture. Now, you know, this comes up, a report by John Peddy Research, according to the PC Gamer article, states that, quote, PC market continues to decline, without giving any specifics.
It's like, you know, you could say maybe 20 million people are going to leave PC gaming, except I don't know how many people are currently PC gaming, so I don't really know how big of a percentage the population that represents.
And
you
by
know, like if there's
when?
like if there's, you know, like if there are 2 billion PC gamers, I'll be like, okay, I could see a 1% drop off. Sure,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem insane. But if there's like 45 million PC gamers,
Okay.
you know, and that's like 40%
Well,
of the
my
population.
first
I'm like,
question-
hold on a sec.
Yeah, right, go for it, Darius. Sorry, go on.
My first question would be, what is the scale of it? I mean, do they assume that 20 million will decline within a year, 5 years, 20 years?
Yeah, so Duncan's got the idea on the percentages, and you've got the idea on the time. It's like just saying that it will decline. Well, yeah,
Yes.
that's inevitable. That's like every other bit of progress that we ever do. Something will grow and something will decline.
Okay, the last record I can see is in 2007 there was estimated to be 1.22 billion PC gamers worldwide. That's in 2017. But according to this article, as what the thing I found as well, is they're expecting it to go to 1.4 billion by 2021.
Okay, so based on
So
this
we have
report,
conflicting statistics then.
yeah, based on that report, that would be growth. So 20 million people moving on to do something while stuff is growing on something that is supposed to be declining doesn't work.
Yeah, what I think what the article meant is 20 million will abandon PC for the sake of big game picture. So either for those Nvidia big game TVs or for Stadia from Google. That's what I think what it is about. And yes, definitely.
Or even back to console gaming from what it's saying down in the article as well.
And don't worry. The article I found about saying that they expect it to go up will be a further growth of 1 point. It's already reached 2.3 billion, and that was last year.
So, yeah.
So obviously, yes, I would say yes. We will lose 20 millions. However, we will gain additional hundreds. Because we will lose, as the article states, those 20 millions for the sake of.
But we could easily gain another 40
Stadia or big game pictures.
Yeah. I mean, something to take into account is this, that another market analyst has turned around and said that I don't think it's going to decline because PCs, or as is put in this quote, PC boutiques are positioned perfectly to grow with the expanding streamer and content creator audience.
Yes.
Not many people can get a good streaming setup sat on a couch playing a PS4.
No.
They're generally either remote playing it towards a PC or they've already got it in a PC-like setup to do this. And at that point, if you've got a PC-like setup, you might as well go the whole hog with the way that the streaming's working and use a PC setup.
For the PC, you don't need any compromises.
Yeah.
If you got the money, there is no compromises in picture quality.
Yeah, there's nothing in sort of quality. I mean, you've got to say that though. Remember on that the way streaming technology is at the moment, that it's never a one-to-one correlation. You can have the crispest, clearest setup, but if a streaming platform's only going to be able to output stuff at 1080p, currently they're moving to 4K. then that's the limit that you've got. But Steph, no, it sounded like you were going to say something. That's all.
No, I just said true. And by the sounds of it, I've been looking at a few different places, and they've all said last year it all went up by almost 1 billion people on a PC. So we'll lose 20 million, but we'll still gain an extra billion again.
Yes,
if it carries on like that.
Yes, it does.
And you know, another thing I dislike about the intentionally misleading nature of this type of article with this type of statistics is that it continues to perpetuate the myth that PC gaming and console gaming are exclusive markets, and that a person might play on a PC because they find certain games to be more fun on or you know, accessible on a PC than on a console, or that certain games that they enjoy, certain types of games that they enjoy are only available on PC. Like I don't know, someone could play Hearthstone on PC because that's where you play it, or they might play, you know, Call of Duty on the console because they just like 2-stick controls. It's just like like the idea that there's some exclusive, like there's this war between PC gaming and console gaming.
I don't know any PC gamer that
hasn't
got at least one console.
Yeah.
I don't really play on console. I'm like one of the most like real PC gamers out there, but like I don't care. Like if I really want, I mean, you know, I do occasionally play on consoles that other people have or that I borrow, and I do occasionally, you know, feel a desire to get. I would never be like, you know, I if there was a game that I really wanted to play on console, I'd just go buy on console. It's just like, for the most part, everything that I want to play on a console eventually comes out on PC anyway.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, I'm pretty well set. I've got all my entertainment right here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's nothing exclusive. I mean, I say this with a smartphone in my hand at the moment. I've got a bloody PS4 controller on my desk. There's a Nintendo DS across the room. You know, stuff like that. This sort of idea of, oh, you're only allowed to choose one thing, and you've got to stick with it. And remember, you know, your enjoyment is purely based on the success of that part of the industry. Stop it.
It's also like the people who go, yeah, it's a battle between PlayStation and Xbox. A lot of people have both.
Yeah. It's like I've got a PS4, I've got an Xbox 360. I don't have an Xbox One, but you know.
See, I've never had an
success
Xbox,
of one,
but I'll play it when I'm at yours. Don't bother me.
So you're saying the
success of one part of the industry does not always come exclusively at the expense of another section of the industry. If anything, both, you know, all sectors of a competitive industry will inevitably go upwards, more or less in tandem, because of the nature of competition.
Yeah.
Because they're all trying to outdo each other and trying to get people to play their game at that particular time.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I'll do this, now I'll do this, now I'll do this. And guess what? You know what ends up happening? Everyone buys a Nintendo 3DS. Everyone buys a PS4. Everyone gets a gaming PC at their home, because people are competing with each other so hard that there's games on all of those platforms that they want to play.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Competition is good. Monopolies are bad. It's, you know, it's a simple, you know, sort of truth. And you know, it's the people that exploit the fact that competition is good that manage to get away with it. I mean, let's look at Epic with the game that shall not be named, even though we've mentioned it 3 times in the podcast already. Fortnite. You know, they know.
More like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh.
More like Fortnite. Yeah, with the fact that then, you know, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, smartphone, toaster, microwave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know at that point that making it inclusive to as many people as possible gets those V-Bucks. And I can't believe I know that. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go in the fetal position. But before we do that, let's wrap the podcast up. So, first of all, if you have liked what you've heard, please like, share, subscribe, click that little notification bell. If you're watching it on YouTube, the end screen will appear 20 seconds before the end, as is tradition. Remember that we are on Spotify and iTunes if you want to just listen to the podcast, which is easy enough to do. Please support us and watch the stuff that we've got. We've got plenty of stuff going around. Starting off on the week, you know, we have role-playing Nottingham Games by myself. Tuesday, you're listening to it. Wednesday and Thursday currently don't have anything, but something's due to arrive soon. Friday, the General's War Table. Saturday, play session or something immaterially different. And Sunday, sibling rivalry. So yeah. So we got plenty of stuff there.
I got a question.
Surely, you've got a question.
Yeah. And I don't know why it's popped into head. Whatever happened to Ash Ketchum's primate after he kind of gave it to that guy who trains it to become a fighter? Because you never hear from it again.
It ended up being the Star Gorillas of the Mist.
I was so expecting you to say something like it's from Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Primates. But yeah, with that tiny little distraction, well done, Steph. You've ended up back on your throne, sir.
I've never left it.
But
my headache's starting to go away, so I'm a little bit more active.
But yeah, enjoy the stuff that we're having. Please watch it, and if you like it, let other people know. Let them watch it. We would be happy if that's the case. So until next week.
Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your dog.
Yeah. Thank you, Duncan, Steph, and Dariusz.
And I will see you all in over 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, we won't ask Steph because he's about to kidnap Duncan. But until that time, please, for God's sake, don't kill each other. Never has it been made more apparent over the past couple of weeks. Stop it.
Stop what?
Killing each other.
How do you expect me to play Rainbow Six if I can't kill other people?
That's fine.
Those are digital people. They don't count.
Yeah.
Digital people have feelings too.
Yeah. Have fun, everyone.
That's going to sound weird in a couple of decades when the AI is
when the aliens come down and this is all that's left.
Well, our podcasts. I'm quite surprised they lasted that long.
I would be honored if our podcast were the only piece of human culture left behind after the apocalypse when the aliens come down.
You haven't saw how my face is. I've just grinned wider than the Cheshire Cat at the thought of possibly this being the only bit of human culture left.
But then we might have to be quite disappointed of why it's the only human culture left. It's probably the most unused thing.
Yeah, and back down to earth we go. Alright, have a good one, guys. We will see you next week.
See you later.
Bye!
Bye.